A quick disclaimer, this video has gore. Subjects like guns, blood, and cults are in the video. Please put these things in mind before watching. This is a man with no name. A man who follows orders. A man who, whatever happens, he sticks to the book. He used to be in a cult. He grew up in it. That's why he's so good at obeying. In his mind, there is nothing but a blank canvas. He follows orders and wears a smile for the reason that being unhappy is unacceptable. Eventually, he decided to run away. He had nowhere to go. He just knew he had to escape. And when he did, his canvas's background changed color to a black that faded into a red and beautiful orange like the autumn. With the sliver of personality he had left in him, he pulled the will to run away. He ran and ran and ran until he finally collapsed. He collapsed and woke up in a hospital. He decided to find somewhere to make money and was found by an ex-FBI agent while working at a hot dog stand. The agent recommended him to become a spy for the government's secret war. After this mysterious man saw the look in his eyes, he knew he was qualified. For context, for the past 2 decades, there has been a secret war that has made people randomly go missing. Conspiracy theories have evolved, but none have hit the true conclusion. The man who lived with nothing but orders and obedience went to live for another superiority, and with that, his new purpose. His canvas had a blue square reflecting the orange and red background. The superiority is called Squadron 3110. He lives there and does anything he's told. He has more freedom. He is actually referred to by his name, which is unknown due to him being a spy. For now, we call him Xavier. He is sleeping in his own bed. He eats, sleeps whenever he wants, but he still feels lost. With every time he changes identity, he loses his own. This adds a silhouette of mountains on his red and orange background, and on top of the smooth brushes of blue. One day he is called into the leader's quarters. He walks in, but this time it's different. Instead of him being alone with his boss, he's in there with someone else. A woman, in fact. She's standing still, trying to hold laughter. He's confused on what she finds humorous and chooses to ignore it. Seeing her, it sparked a shore on his canvas on the right of his smooth blue land of water. He's informed of his mission, the mission that will end the secret war. He asks to work alone, since that was what he's used to. And his elder informed him that it wasn't possible, and it was a 2-man job. And it is why they had to bring in someone from Squadron 0908. In this mission, they had placed men to infiltrate and join the recruits of the enemy. These men climbed the ranks and found a weak spot where Xavier and his new partner had to infiltrate and shut down a source of pure electricity that they used to power their weapons. If that source is shut down, then it'll give them the advantage of ending the war once and for all, causing this mysterious enemy to submit themselves. On the mission, all went well, almost too well. This raised suspicion in Xavier's brain, but he felt an attached feeling toward his new partner, in the way that he knew she was a double agent, but he didn't want to accept it. He hoped he would eventually be proved wrong, but it hurt him to know that he wasn't. It was once they had infiltrated the base and they had heard footsteps. They hid in a vent, waited for the 2 armed soldiers to pass by, and once they got out, her attitude started to change. She gets drier. She stops being her smiley self. This made Xavier be even more sure about his theory, causing him to feel worse. This adds a ragged silhouette of a forest on the canvas in his soul. They keep walking towards where their map is leading them, until suddenly she just stops. She turns around with tears falling from her eyes. In her right hand, a pistol, safety off. And without looking him in the eyes, she raises her weapon. Xavier, in such shock, he stands there. His face stays emotionless, yet there are tears falling from his face. He raises his gun, Now they both are holding weapons, waiting for the right moment to catch the other off guard. The moment she cocks her gun back. Bang! She drops to the floor. Xavier, confused, turns around to see several soldiers and a man who seems to be in command. This man's name is Joshua, a grey beard. He seems to be balding, and his eyes, they show nothing but malice. He puts his gun down and says with a tone of arrogance, "Who would have thought the greatest spy, double agent, and my very own daughter would betray me? Oh well, she should have known to always keep that gun ready. Seems like she fancied you, if she was stupid enough to forget her training." As he says this he signals to his soldiers next to him to arrest Xavier. Xavier shuts his eyes as the canvas in his soul is stabbed and ripped, torn apart into pieces. More and more tears are falling from his eyes. He looks at Joshua deep into his eyes and says, in a tone where nothing can move him, "What kind of father kills his own daughter? I'll tell you, someone who has no regard for anyone but themselves. You got your position through a trust fund, bribery, lies, and nothing but a heart made of worthless stone. Am I right? Answer me. Let me guess. You weren't even there for her as she grew up. You shipped her off to train, all she wanted was to make you proud. So every time she mastered one thing, she would go to another thing, doing anything she could just to have a moment with her father. Once she was old enough, you used her like a mere tool, like a weapon. You're a monster." This triggers Joshua, making him lose his temper. He scoffs and turns away, telling his men, "We won't be able to get any information from this one. Just kill him." Xavier's gun has 18 bullets. In a moment filled with rage, adrenaline, and hatred, he shoots down 15 soldiers, the last two running away like cowards. Only one still stands in his way, Joshua. He walks up to Joshua, gun pointed to his face, and with full determination, Joshua says, "You won't do it. You have too much." Bang! Couldn't even finish his sentence. He falls, blood dripping from his forehead. Xavier freezes and stares at nothing. He stands there in shock of what he had just experienced. Blood on his cheek and a shattered heart. The woman he thought he would have had to shoot tried to save his own life. Moral of the story is, be happy, you can feel pain. It shows that you have felt happy. It shows that you are human. Xavier didn't want to accept that she was a double agent. He wanted to believe in her because he felt happy around her. And even when everything seems dark, know that you are mere human. You do not control everything, and that's okay. Life's painful, but that pain is what makes the happy moments worth it.